Welcome to another edition of Inside Guyana. Today our cameraman is Ravi and producer Prakash. We're inside ITV Studio in Long Island City once again to record this program Inside Guyana for the benefit of our viewers. Our special guest today is a very religious personality, a man of many hats, a man of great characteristics, and I understand he has a lot of other endeavors which he is going to share with us today. So ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Pandit Prabhu-Dayal Ramrattan. Pandit Ramrattanji, welcome to the program Inside Guyana, Panditji.
Thank you very much, Rudy. You're too kind. You're too kind with those fine words that you've put over there just now. I'm glad to be here. It's a pleasure to be here, and it's a pleasure to be interviewed by you. And I have looked at your good work that you're doing in this community, and I think you should continue. We need someone like you. We need something different, and you're providing that to the viewers in New York City, and of course to the world, because you do utilize the internet too. So I want to applaud your efforts, and may you continue, and may you be successful.
Thank you very much, sir, for your blessings. Pandit Ramrattanji, would you be kind enough, our first question to our guest on the program Inside Guyana, to please tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, maybe where you're born, which part of Guyana you're from, and some of the things that you've been involved in up to this point here today.
Well, I was born in Guyana. I'm a son of Guyana. I left there in 1966.
Which part of Guyana?
West Coast Berbice. You know, the wise men, they come from the east. Berbice. So, and of course, we have the asylum there too. So we have a mixture of, formidable educated individuals. And of course, we have some right tearaways as well. But I was born in West Coast Berbice in Guyana, and I enjoyed the countryside in Guyana. I enjoyed the lifestyle there. It was beautiful, and I wish I could do it again, but things have changed over the many years that have passed, and I went back there, and it's a different society altogether. But I enjoyed the country. I enjoyed the school I went to. I went to a primary school, albeit bare feet in those days, because, people were poor, and we were poor too. Bare feet to primary school. Then I managed to get to Berbice Education Institute in New Amsterdam. That's where I did my high school education. I wasn't very good at high school because due to our family circumstances, I was withdrawn from school on several occasions to plant rice and look after cows. You know how it is in Guyana. So I didn't excel in school, but I managed to get to England, and I went back to night school there, and I did some O-levels and some A-levels, and I went to college on a part-time basis. And then I took up teaching. I went to the Teacher Training College, Garnet College, University of London, got a teacher's degree, or rather, I should say a certificate in teaching, and then I started teaching in colleges and universities. I taught in Wales, and I taught in New York here, and I'm now retired, and I give all my efforts to community services and, of course, to help our people in Dharma. I'm a Hindu, and I still believe strongly in Hinduism, and I promote that vehemently. I enjoy it. I enjoy my retired life. I'm enjoying it, and it's good. Life's been good to me, and what can I say?
Yeah, thank you very much. I think that's a very impressive biography you have there,
Wow.
Panditji. Would you mind now telling us a little bit about your activities in the field of Hindu philosophy? What aspect of Hindu philosophy are you more versed in?
Well, I tend to talk much more about God for everyone, not God in compartments, whereby your God is better than mine, my God is better than yours. I speak about God generally. God is there for everybody and everyone, from the rich to the poor, from the criminal to the honest individual. God is there, and God responds to everybody if you pray for yourselves. And this is something I try to promote a lot in my talks around the mandirs in New York City and New Jersey. I insist that you must pray for yourself. The reason being is that it's been shown that by experiments that if you pray for yourself, you get more improvement, or rather you improve much more so than if someone were to pray for you. And this has been tested scientifically. Let me give an example. There was a unit of patients that were researched, and they split the patients in half. Half were asked to go and pray for themselves, and the other half were told that a group will pray for them. The ones that prayed for themselves got significantly better. The ones that were prayed for, nothing happened. So my message to you, and my message to all my listeners out there in the mandirs and in the communities that I go around and I talk about religion too, is that you must pray for yourselves. And there's a lot of charlatans about on the internet and the newspapers asking for monies such that they can pray for you. This is a load of fun. So don't waste your money on them. Pray for yourselves. That's my main message to people. Don't get involved in mumbo jumbo. Don't get involved in obia. You know, something that hurts me is that I've seen a lot of astrologers in Liberty Avenue in Queens, in Richmond Hill, and these people are rogues. They can't help themselves. If you were to check them out, each one of them, I tell you, each one of them have got illness and problems and issues in their families, and they can't do anything about it. How can they help you? I tell you, or I ask you, how can they help you? So you're the only one who can help yourself as far as prayer go. So, or rather prayers go, my grammar's wrong. You're the only one who can help yourself. So pray for yourselves, and of course God will respond to you. But listen, another message that I give out, when you pray, don't fold your arms and wait for God to do something for you. You got to get up and get. If you want to pass an exam, here's a book. You got to read the book. God wouldn't put this in your brain. And no astrologer or no other priest or no so-called individual who claims to have power can touch you physically and say, I put the Spirit of God in you. That's a load of what I like to call BS, but this is a nice program, and I'm dressed for a different occasion. So don't let anybody fool you. Keep your money, spend it on yourself, be happy.
Pandit Ramrattanji, you use a word which is universally known and which has a definition.
Sure.
God.
Mm-hmm.
God. Do you have a definition of God?
Listen,
I remember reading something when Mahatma Gandhi wrote that God, truth is God, on truth a denial of Him.
There are many, many ways of interpreting what God is.
Some people might believe that God is some superior being residing somewhere out there.
I don't think God has a residence.
Okay, what is your definition of God, and what would you like to share with our viewers here today about God, since you have started using the word in this interview, God?
I do believe in a superior being. We don't know who this God is, what He is, what it is, or what she is. We don't know what this God is. You know, normally you go from the known to the unknown. We've never seen anything we can say God is like this or this is like God, because we have never seen God. Nobody can describe God. No, the words cannot. In Hindu Dharma,
so are you saying that all these books that are written of God just wasting
there's no definition
time?
of God. There's no
why
definition.
are you writing so many books?
Well, the gods that you get defined are the ones who walk the earth. You know, the avataris we call them in Hinduism. The ones who we say that God takes form and He walks the earth, and we call those God. We can describe those people that walk the earth. Rama walked the earth and he talked to people. Krishna, Vishnu, Brahma, all these deities, they walk the earth and they intermingled with people. So people can describe them, the shape, the way they said, the way they look, the words that they spoke. People can reproduce those. But the one God that all religions in this world worship has never been seen, has never been heard of, have never been tasted, have never been smelt, have never been touched. Our senses are too weak to perceive this one God. But we believe that He's there. We believe that there is a God because there's order in the universe. The sun rises every morning, and it sets every afternoon, every evening, and there's plants grow seasonally, things repeat themselves. So on that count, people may say it's natural, it's nature, but most religions are based on the unexplained, because you cannot explain something. There's got to be a superior being. It has to be someone there who's in charge, who's doing it. This is how the concept of God came about. I can't do that. It's magic. So there's got to be somebody superior than me, somebody greater than me. And guess what? When we worship God, we make Him in an image of our own selves, because we think that because He's powerful, He's going to be somebody like us who's bigger than us, rather. He's going to be somebody bigger than us, really. You know, when we speak of God, we think of something. If this is best explained by a saint, God is best explained according to Sant Keshavadass. If you take a donkey as an example, the donkey sees God as a bigger donkey. And the same analogy applies to human beings. We see God as a bigger human being. Sant Keshavadass, I quote him. He's no more, but a blessed fellow who came to the West and taught many, many people.
What does the Hindu philosophy teaches about God?
God is there anytime. God is there everywhere, and you can worship Him anytime, any place, and everywhere too. God is omnipresent, omnipotent, and omniscient. And you know what those mean. Omnipotent means He's all-powerful. Omniscient means He's all-knowing. And what's the other one? Omnipotent, omniscient, and I missed the third one.
Yeah, He's all-pervading.
All-pervading, yes. So He's everywhere. Omnipotent,
Omnipresent.
omniscient, and omnipresent, yes. Omnipresent, yes. All-pervading. He's everywhere.
Okay. Panditji, let us move on a little bit, come back to art now.
Yeah, okay. We've been to heaven.
Yeah.
We've been to heaven and come back to earth.
Yeah, we've been traveling from here, there, went to moon, sun, stars, and all of that. And
I went to the moon?
we're talking in terms of definition of
Okay,
God.
okay.
So, you have lectured at various universities. What are some of the lectures that you have
Management,
read?
basically management, healthcare, health services and management.
Okay, so you were not really
I'm
a lecturer.
I'm also an acupuncturist. I taught in the New College of Acupuncture in Syosset.
So you have a certificate?
Yes, I'm a licensed acupuncturist in New York City, but I don't practice. I don't have an office.
So you put needles into people's bodies?
Yes, I do stick needles into you.
Wow.
Yes.
And now you're sticking ideas into people's
Yes, ideas into you, because I've stuck enough needles. I've done enough of that, and I'm quite happy. It was a good job when I did it. I was successful with it. I did well.
Now, Panditji, let us talk a little bit about our Guyanese community. You know, this program is called Inside Guyana.
Inside Guyana.
And we have a very large Guyanese diaspora in New York State and in the United States generally. I think we have about 250,000 people, 250,000.
I think you have, there was a saying I heard, we have 500,000 Guyanese here, legally, and another 500,000 illegally.
Okay.
This is fun. I mean, no disrespect to those of you who are trying to get a green card. I mean, I wish you well, and may you...
I think you pray for them now.
Yes, yes. Well, no, I don't pray for them. I'll encourage you to pray for yourselves. Remember what I said? You have to pray for yourselves and do something about it, please. Don't just pray and sit down. Yes, go ahead.
Yes, about the diaspora here. What are some of the activities you're engaged in the Guyanese diaspora?
Well, giving people information about facilities and services that are available, which they can utilize, like healthcare, like social services, professionals who they can talk to, as opposed to going it alone. When they're sick, how to find a doctor who will see them and give them some advice, as opposed to going to the witch doctor, the quacks, who promise them, a cure or a remedy, which is never ever forthcoming. Normally, let me give an example. When you're a baby, especially boys, male child, when you're a baby, research has shown that babies get a fever or they get sick rapidly, very, very quickly, suddenly, and they recover suddenly. I went to a function whereby the Pandit was brought a baby was brought to the Pandit, and of course he chanted some mantras and sprinkled some water, and in a matter of 20 minutes or so the baby got better, the fever disappeared, and the family swore by this priest that he had powers to heal the child. But it's like magic. There's a secret behind the magician, what he does. But you don't know what he does. But this guy didn't do anything. It's natural that a child will recover, a boy child in that case, who gets ill suddenly and who recovers suddenly. And of course, it's an opportune moment for this priest to see that he did the right mantras, he sprinkled the correct water in the correct ritual, and of course, I got the child better. I mean, this is a lot of, what I call it. I use the word already.
Yes.
This fraud.
So you're involved in the community in that
Yes,
regard.
I try to direct
You
people
advise
not to
them.
go to these charlatans, not to go to people who practice obia, not to go to people who have no powers at all. No one has powers. No one has powers like the old days. You have to have Shakti. And the one that comes to mind is Gandhari. Gandhari was the mother of the wicked Duryodhana. She wrapped a cloth on her eyes to be blind like her husband.
That is from which?
That's the Mahabharata.
Mahabharata.
Yeah. She wrapped the cloth around her eyes to play the role of a blind queen, to be in the same status as her husband. And while she was praying, she meditated and she got Shakti, she got power. She got the divine power. And she was able to give that to her son. Albeit he didn't listen to her, he only got half of it. And he lost his life for that because he wouldn't listen to his mother. There are certain people who do penance and who do yoga and sacrifices, and tapas and austere practices to achieve these magical powers. But it's possible. But there's a question mark now. I don't know if you ever watched the program Ancient Aliens. Is it a god they're asking, or was it ancient aliens that gave these powers to mankind? In all the scriptures, when Christ walked on water, when Hanuman flew, they're wondering now whether it was the technology of ancient aliens that made these gods did the things that they did and were written in the scriptures. Anyway, I don't want to turn you off religion. Religion has its benefits, and for those of you who benefit, I would urge you to continue it. The atheists, they have benefits from their beliefs. The religious people, they have benefits from their belief. The people who worship, obia and voodoo, they have benefits as well. Everyone gets a benefit from what they do. Some good, some bad. That's life. So whatever you do, if it works for you, good luck to you. But once you're not harming anybody and you're not cheating anybody, I'm for it. If you believe in necromancy or whatever, zombie business, and it works for you, keep it to yourself. Don't curse people to join you. It's wrong, I think.
Okay, Panditji, do you practice as a Pandit here in the Guyanese community?
Yes, I do, but I don't do it to make a living, So I'm pretty successful in what I do. I don't chase Panditai work. I don't have to.
Okay, so you
just
do it for
I feel a vacuum.
Pleasure.
That and I feel a vacuum. If a temple hasn't got a priest, I go and I fill in. I don't belong to any particular temple. I go and I fill in, and I do whatever I have to do to save that man there, or to enlighten the community or the devotees on some aspect of religion, Hinduism. But I try to be as rational as possible, as logical as possible, even though most of what I do can be questioned. I do it because of tradition. Traditionally, we do certain rituals. I do it as well because it helps people. The rituals that you do, the practices that you do, it helps people. A lot of it I question, and I ask the devotees, would you like to tell me why you want us to do that? Have you got any reason? Let me give an example. Mati Kaur, when we do a wedding, the family goes out. The family go out to the canal or some distance, and they dig some dirt. Now it was found out that the reason for Mati Kaur, Mati means earth, Kaur means to dig. The reason for digging earth was to make a dry facility for the guests at the wedding. But people don't want me to know. I told a story to a couple of pundits, and they don't want to hear me. They want to kill me. I said, look, it makes sense. Our people lived in the valleys, and when it rains, the yard becomes mucky and muddy with your goat and your cow and your sheep and your chicken. They make a mess everywhere. So we need dry rocks and dry earth for our guests when they come to the wedding. If that doesn't make sense, tell me what will make sense to explain Mati Kaur. Most of the Pandits told me, they're worshipping Prithvi. Why do you want to worship Prithvi Mata? You worship her every day. As soon as you get up from bed, you chant a mantra for Prithvi Mata. Why do you want to worship Prithvi Mata at the wedding? What's the reason? All right, so you can worship a god anytime, any place, anywhere. I buy that. But the logical reason for Mati Kaur is to provide your guests with solid, dry ground so they can come and be your guests at your wedding. And if you know of any better explanation for Mati Kaur, tell me. And if it's better, I will allow you to accede, to your, accede in status for your contribution.
Pandit Ramrattanji, I'm sure our viewers will be calling you very soon
I
to
know, I know.
debate all these topics. I'm sure.
I know.
You might be putting some pandits out of work because
I think if priests are to do work, they should serve the community. You know something else I want to tell people? That any religion, it doesn't matter if it's Hinduism, Christianity, Islam, or Buddhism, or Judaism, if a religion does not serve its people, it's bound to perish. And think of all the thousands of religions that have perished in the past since man walked the earth. Work on that. Think about it. Reflect on it. If Hinduism doesn't serve our community, we'll lose our devotees to other religions. Because what? Because I want to tell you why. Most of the other religious leaders, they've got university degrees, and our priests have to compete with them, most of whom have primary school education. And half of those who've got primary school education left before they finished primary school education. So how can they give a convincing story about God? I'm saying to all priests, please lift yourselves up by yourself. There's a verse in the Bhagavad Gita that says you should lift yourself up by yourself. Think about it.
Okay, Ramrattanji, I understand that you have been very successful in what you have been doing all your life, and you have attained a certain material status. You are probably rich enough now that you have retired to make some contributions to your community and to your people, as is written in most of the scriptures. Give to the people knowledge, give to the people service to the best of your abilities. I want to ask you, what are some of the services that you are providing personally and you're participating in some of the processes to give back to the community? Are you giving back anything to the community? Have you been back to Guyana? You said you're from Guyana. What are some of the things that you have been doing, or you're doing, or you intend to do to help human beings in your community and in your environment, sir?
Wow. Some of it I've mentioned already. I try to educate our people about God and about religion and about rituals and about, living a righteous life. And this comes from the scriptures that I was brought up in. And I try to share my experiences and my readings. I read practically every night a verse here, a verse there, a little bit of story here, a little bit of story there. And I put these together, and I impart these to the congregation whenever I go every weekend. But apart from educating people, I continue to do social services in Guyana. It involves education as well, skills training, training youth for life's life's work, to improve their lives, and of course to be professionals and to be worthy citizens, to be, citizens who can contribute to society and lift others up as well. Guyana, when I grew up, Guyana, education was a scarce commodity. It was hard to get education. You had to pay for high school education. Today you don't have to. But in my days, you had to pay for high school education. I valued education, so when I went to England, I went to night school and I started to study again. I didn't have the opportunity to study because of the cows and the coconuts and the rice fields. But I managed to have an education. I wouldn't say I'm a scholar. I'm not a brilliant person, but I made do with what I had. What opportunities were there. I made do with it, and I studied, and I got some qualifications, and I utilized that to improve the lives of others. Now, the place that we've built in Guyana, the Ramrattan Social Services Center, is an effort from the members of my family, my brothers, my sisters. They've contributed as well. Now, it's a building in Guyana, in number 11 Village, West Coast, Berbice. And of course, it's got 6 bedrooms. We support teachers from here to go there for 2 weeks or 3 weeks and to teach these kids these entrepreneurial and life skills, such that they could, feel a sense of worth and go on to study and become worthwhile individuals, to become professionals. Things we teach there are like public speaking, reading, writing, computing, We do tailoring, sewing. We do environmental health. We show them how to care for the environment, how to manage the agricultural garden to produce food for themselves, how to do the DIY or do-it-yourself repairs to their homes, how to use electrical power tools and the safety issues therein. We teach them how to weld. Again, safety is a number one priority when we show these kids how to use these tools and technologies. We have welding equipment there. We have tools for simple tire changing and do a simple mechanical work on the car, but now cars have gone high-tech now. We may have to take a computer there next time to show them how to diagnose and repair faults. All these activities on crafts that we teach these children is to help them to develop a career and, of course, to be good citizens.
Pandit Ramrattanji, so you were saying that you have established a center there, and is that called the Ramrattan Social Services Center for Excellence?
Yes.
And
it's on Facebook.
It's on Facebook,
yes,
okay.
Yes.
Now it's going to be on YouTube and Facebook and
good.
The television also.
Good.
So what are the aims and objectives of your organization in brief?
Well, it started from the Bhagavad Gita verse, lifting yourself up by yourself. But even that is spiritual. But this is physical. Lift yourself up by yourselves. Be an entrepreneur. Be self-motivated. And we do motivational talks.
So you probably have people doing yoga there. They lift themselves up.
We teach people. Well, there's simple exercises, physical exercises that we do, which you can call yoga if you want to. But we want them to keep fit. We want them to be healthy. We want them to eat the right food if they can afford it. I know for some people it's not possible, but we teach them how to eat well, how to exercise, how to rest, how to study. We teach them the techniques of studying. For example, if you want to learn something by heart, we teach them the old traditional Indian technique. Like if you want to learn a mantra or a line, you'll start with syllables at a time. You go one syllable forward and you go back. One syllable forward every time. Like Twameva Mata, we start with Twa, Twame, Twameva, Twameva Mata, Twameva Mata Cha, Twameva Mata Cha Pi, Twameva Mata Cha Pita. You see, we go one syllable ahead, but we take them back to the beginning so that memory, this is how young kids in India, and of course, Islamic kids as well, they learn from the old Gurukula system of India, which show them how to memorize a whole Mahabharata, a whole Quran, a whole Ramayana, by learning how to use these techniques. We try to do this as well. We use poetry as well, and we get them to read poetry, and we get them to try and make a rhyming poem so that they can learn these skills as well.
So what are the ages of these children at the 10-year Social Services Center for Excellence?
Well, we had from 7 to 21, and we split them in groups.
7 to 21.
Yeah, we split them in groups, and we cater for their needs. And
what is the total number of persons that you can provide services to at any
last year we
time?
had 69.
69.
Last year we had 69 students, and we divide them into 4 groups. This year we expect more, but with the facilities and the help that we get from volunteers over here, we have to see how we can fit those in before we increase the number anymore.
So who actually finance all these activities and projects there? The building, who owns the building?
The buildings are all family owned. The building is
family owned
yes.
by the Ramrattan family.
Yeah, yes. Building is family owned, but the services that we provide are done by resources through donations from New York. We raise funds here.
So you actually have a registered not-for-profit organization?
You have a registered one. We're trying to get 501c, 3c in the process now. We should get that this year, hopefully. So we can ask for funds openly. But usually we do fundraising by having entertainment and trips and people who volunteer their services and equipment like computers, books. We're hoping to have donations of desks and benches that hold, a desk and a bench will hold up 2 or 3 individuals. We want to have benches so that one child can lift the whole desk up and one child can lift the whole bench up.
Oh, the lights.
So yeah, no more than 2 or 3 seating. So we try to have donations of those. Last time we borrowed from the school.
So how many desks and benches are you looking to acquire?
Well, we want about 30, really about 30.
And what is the cost of that if you're to purchase
It's
it?
like about $20 or $30 for each set. It's like $20 or $30 for each set. And if anybody out there want to donate a bench or a desk, please contact us. We have our phone numbers on this program. My name is Ramrattan. You have Angela Maestri, who's our secretary. You have Mohan Singh, who's our president and CEO. And he is a very hard worker. You've seen him around. If you can support him and support us, we will be ever so grateful. It's not for us. We have utilized most of our resources to get this program up and running, and this is our second successful year. Prior to that, we had 2 previous years where we went around all the mandirs in the country, and we talked about suicide and domestic violence and conversion of Hindus, which we are totally against. I think every religion should take care of its own, and it should be good at what it does, as opposed to forcing your tenets on other religions. So what I'm saying is that be a good Hindu, be a good Muslim, be a good Christian. Harvesting Hindus is a no-no, and I feel very strongly about that. Let me repeat that. Harvesting Hindus is a no-no. I think you should stop thinking about it and stop doing it. I'm serious about that.
So what do you mean by harvesting Hindus?
Converting people.
Oh, converting, okay.
Converting Hindus. I mean, people say that openly.
Oh, you're talking about other religions?
Yes.
Who are trying to convert
Hindus to their
Hindus
faith.
to their faith. Okay.
Everyone to his faith, whether it's good or bad. God works in mysterious ways. God made all the religions. You can't tell me that God only made one religion. You know?
No, but it is a marketing strategy that
Of course.
is being used
Religion is big business.
worldwide. Yes,
Religion
it's
is
a
big business. And, you know, if God had made religion, he would have made one religion. So my point is that religion is man-made. It's made for the benefits of man. And when man wants something, he'll find it in the scriptures that he wrote. He'll interpret that particular verse to suit his needs and his, his atrocities too. You know, segregation, apartheid. You can find them all in the Bible. Slavery. Wars. Religious wars. Conquistadores in the name of religion. Spanish Inquisition. The Crusades. And even among Hindus, we have wars. The Buddhists and the Saivites fighting in Sri Lanka and the South India, and we have them in the north as well. I'm better than you. That's the general idea. I'm better than you. My religion is better than you, so I should wipe you out. That is not right. That is not worshiping God. That is not being religious. Mankind has a right to survive. And I don't hear this from preachers. The preachers say nice words. Madhur Vacha. Madhur means honey. Vacha means speech. Madhur Vacha. Most of these priests, when they come along, in all religions, they speak to you so sweetly. They coerce you to empty your pockets and fill theirs, that God is going to give you in abundance. God's going to do this for you. God's going to do that for you. And these silly fools believe it. God does nothing. Let me tell you something. God does nothing for you or me. We got to pray to God and do it ourselves. And one of my favorite examples, if you don't believe me, go and stand in the middle of the road and pray to God and ask him to move you while the bus is coming. See what happens. Pray for yourselves and do something. Don't listen to these mumbo-jumbo priests. Now, I'm not referring to Hindu priests, but all priests, they give you mumbo-jumbo. They can heal you. It's all trickery and it's all fraud. Charlatans, I used the word already before. These are charlatans. True people who want to help humanity would not ask you for money. One of the things that I teach is that in this world, there are about five holy men or women. Maybe it's a combination of both. 5 people then in this whole world who have powers, who have got Shakti to heal you, to destroy you, to do whatever they want to do, because they're realized souls. Yet these 5 people would not ask you for a penny. Most of them will come around to your homes with a begging bowl asking you for a meal for this body. They have realized God. They're what you call Jivatma. They're living, realized individuals. They don't have to die to get to God. They got to God while they're alive. And they have got powers, but they won't show it off. They won't boast about it. They won't tell anybody about it. You have to be able to appreciate by looking at them and see the countenance or the aura that they carry to know that they are realized souls. And they will help you if you are able to seek them out. but they won't come to you. They can give you warnings, in masses, warn you about impending dangers. They can tell you that a storm is coming or some devastation is about to occur. So these are the people who've got powers. They don't show off. They don't ask you for money. And one of the nice things about these people reminds me of Sri Ramakrishna, the guru of Swami Vivekananda. Sri Ramakrishna says, this body, all it needs food. Like these saints and sages, they demonstrate this idea. This body needs food to live. The soul doesn't need food. And whatever you eat does not contaminate the soul. Your Atma is absolutely pure. And for Hindus, we are not born in sin. We are not born in sin. We're born absolutely pure. But by coming to this world, we get contaminated. The body gets contaminated. And of course, your mind and intellect, the body, mind, and intellect. These are the three aspects that get contaminated, and you have to purify these by doing your jap and your prayer and doing good work. Do the good yogas, karma, bhakti, jnana yoga, etc. and the sacrifices that are prescribed in our scriptures.
Pandit Ramrattanji, I am a little bit puzzled here. Maybe I wouldn't want to say confused, but puzzled.
Good. That's the idea. That's what priests do.
Yeah, but you haven't completely puzzled me, because I think there might be a contradiction here, which I want to ask you to probably explain.
If I can, I will. Yes.
For the benefit of the viewers.
Yeah, sure.
You were talking about all these activities and people doing this and that and God and so on, but you seem to have been evading the aspect of philosophy or Hindu philosophy that speaks about karma.
Mm-hmm.
Because if someone is in a certain condition,
mm-hmm.
it is probably something that can be explained by his karma, something that he had done in previous lives.
All right, okay.
Maybe I got it wrong.
No. If by what you said you mean what are the reasons behind some of the
existing ills.
Yes, right. Yes,
and
yes,
existing
yes.
problems.
Yep, the issues that we have.
And how to erase that kind of a negative influence of karma, which is actually
everything
a result
about,
of previous actions.
Okay. Everything about God involves doing good and living a righteous life and being truthful. And Vedanta is absolutely on the path of truth. Vedanta teaches you the truth and only the truth. So what are you trying to, what I gather from your question or your comments is that
karma, what role karma plays?
All right. Whatever you see happening to an individual now, it's due to past karma. Let me explain. Why does a young baby die who hasn't committed any offense or done anything wrong in this world when this baby comes into the world? Why does a wicked person live to 100 years? And he continues to be wicked after he's 100.
Now, who says he's wicked?
Well, he's treating people bad. He's beating people up. He's robbing people. He's cheating people. He's debauchery. His debauchery, his activities, whatever he does, everything naughty, stealing, whipping, beating, enslaving people. These are not good qualities by any standards. Why does such a person live to 100 years in luxury, in a palace if you like, and people who do good live in abject poverty? There's no answer in this world for these questions except through karma, what you did in past life. There's no other answer. Why does a young man die who's been good, who's done no? Well, why does a baby die in the womb who hasn't even born yet? It has to do with past karma. And don't tell me, because the mother didn't eat or the mother did something wrong, drank gin or something, that's why the baby died. That too. Everything works in mysterious ways. We don't know why the mother went and decided to drink gin. If it could be stopped, then somebody should have stopped her. We don't know why. We don't know why these things happen.
Can you bring some examples from the religious scriptures, religious epics?
Well, I think I mentioned that Rama and Krishna, they did wrong things and they had to pay for it. The classic example, and no offense to Hinduism is it has to do with karma. Rama did some naughty things and he had to pay for it. Krishna did some naughty things and he had to pay. Vishnu Bhagavan did some naughty things and he had to pay for it. Let's start with Vishnu Bhagavan before we get to Rama and Krishna. Vishnu Bhagavan was going to marry Lakshmi and Narad Muni wanted to marry Lakshmi. This is how the mythological story goes. Narad Muni asked Vishnu Bhagavan, and Vishnu Bhagavan always treated him like a son. Always call him, hey Sutra, hey Putra, whatever. Call him like hey Sut, hey Putra. And Narad Muni said, hey Bhagavan, I want to go to this wedding ceremony. Give me a beautiful face. Vishnu Bhagavan gave him a monkey face. That's not nice. Here's a devotee who asked his God to give him a pretty face so he can go and marry Lakshmi. But we know the story goes, Lakshmi is meant to marry Vishnu. Vishnu gave him a monkey face. Lakshmi put the mala on Vishnu Bhagavan and they were married. And all the people were laughing at Narad Muni. Hey, go look at your face in the water. And when he looked at his face, he found that Vishnu gave him a monkey face. And what he did, he cursed Vishnu Bhagavan. He said, just like how you making me pine for my love, I love this woman dearly. Just like how you making me pine for Lakshmi Mata, one day the same thing will happen to you. And when he took avatar as Rama, karma now, took avatar as Rama, Sita was taken away, he was pining. So whatever you do in one life crosses over to the next. And this is what karma is about in Hinduism. Karma moves from one life to another. Whatever you do never goes unpaid, never gets erased. Even though Krishna Chandra Bhagavan says, call my name, Sarveshu Kaleshu, every moment, every time, call my name. I will give you, liberation. Krishna said that.
So is this why you're setting up your social services center, the Ramrattan Social Services Center, for example? So you're doing good things so that in future lives, when you're reborn again, you're going to benefit a lot.
You cut me short. I wanted to quote another mantra.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Sarva dharman
I apologize.
mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma sucha. Bhagavad Gita talks about it, that 1866, if you want to know the Bhagavad Gita, 1866 talks about it. Krishna says, come to me, I will give you liberation. But that does not, people misinterpret these verses in the Bhagavad Gita.
When you said 1866, you mean
yes,
verse?
Yes.
Verse
66.
1000.
No. Chapter 18, verse
Chapter 8, okay, that's
1866.
For the benefit of viewers, yes.
Yeah, chapter 18, verse 66. Sarva dharman parityajya. Krishna said, give up everything, come to me, I will give you liberation. And he's saying emphatically, come to me, I will liberate you. But even though Krishna is saying that that's only time, that's only, transient, the liberation is only transient, you have to pay for what you've done. If Rama had to pay for it, if Vishnu had to pay for it, if Shiva Shankar Bhagavan lost a head, and Brahma lost a head, having to pay for it, then you and I must pay for it. No God can remove your karmas from you. You have to burn it out. These vasanas, these impressions are there and they have to be burnt out. No matter what people tell you. We sing a lot of bhajans, a lot of nice songs, and we read a lot of shastras that says, oh, if this is going to happen, you're going to get blessing, you're going to get money. Nah, Baba, nah. If you get the money, it's only for a day. You have 364 days left, or whatever, 365 days left in here to suffer without any money. So you're not going to get absolute moksha. When you get that, you don't come back on earth. You're not born again.
What is moksha?
Moksha is liberation.
Liberation.
It's getting to God. Getting to God.
Of the soul.
Yes. The soul getting back to God. Not you, the soul.
The soul,
When
right.
you say you, we mean the soul. In the Bhagavad Gita, when we talk about the self, you and I, Krishna even made that clear. When Krishna says I, he means the Atma within. He not mean Krishna the body, which is perishable. Krishna's body was perished. Perished as, at a point. He lived to 125 years. Krishna lived to 125 years. The Mahabharata talks about it. It's not coming on top of my head, but it's there. The scriptures are there. But these things are not discussed with our people. People don't hear these things. In our yagnas, they hear the nice bhajans, and that's something else that I would like to see change somewhat. Before you sing a whole bhajan and you mesmerize the person with your raga and your swaras, I would rather you sing one verse and explain that verse so that people have a takeaway. They have a moral teaching to take away, which they can apply to their daily lives. If you can't do that, then you're doing a disservice to the community. You wouldn't be able to uphold Hinduism, which is being attacked on all sides. People are being converted. People are converting us. You have to be able to show the individuals concerned, your devotees, your listeners, that there's a moral story in there far greater than the other religion. Don't tell me you don't want to compete. Competition is a must. If you don't compete, you'll perish. Life itself is a competition. You don't compete with a good living, you die. So we must compete in terms of saving our religion, saving our dharma, saving our culture, whether you like it or not. That's something we have to think about. And I hope you pause on it. I hope you meditate on it. And think. I'm not asking you to go and fight anybody. I'm not asking you to get into trouble. But conceptualize these ideas and think about it if you want Hinduism to survive. Remember what I said, any religion that doesn't serve mankind is destined.
Pandit Ramrattanji, would you be kind enough to share with our viewers, we're coming towards the end of our interview, share with our viewers one little example of what you just said.
About religion?
Yeah,
about
give us
God?
take one quotation.
All right, okay, there are many religions
one little lesson
there are many religions that
from the Hindu scriptures, and teach our viewers, give us an example of what you really meant.
Well, I was talking about religions religions coming to an end.
No, you said to take one thing and explain it and
Oh, you
teach
want me to
it.
give a verse at the back? You're like,
Verse,
okay, well,
whatever.
My favorite verse that I'm pondering on
If you're
now.
prepared for that, then
Yeah. Okay, the favorite verse that I like to recite to people. I have two of them really. Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya upadekshanti te janam janinas tadvara darshana. Tad vidhi, know that by showing respect to those people who know. I don't want you to respect me. I don't know everything, but let's start with your parents, your older folks. Show respect to them. Why? Because they got experience, they have a wealth of knowledge which they can show you. I missed mine because my mother passed away and I never really tapped into the vast amount of knowledge that she knew about Hinduism. Tadvidi prani patena. Prani means to fall down. Prani means to worship. Patena means to fall down. Bow at their feet. Or rather worship them. Show respect to them. Pariprasnena, and this is something very important in Hindu Dharma. Ask questions. How many of us ask questions to the Pandits and the Mandirs? None. We think the Pandit is God, he knows everything. He chants one or two mantras and he fools you that he knows Sanskrit. But this is not true. Ask questions in English language and ask them for an answer. A good Pandit will tell you, well, son or daughter or Behenji or friend, I don't know the answer, but I will go and look it up and find you. Another one will say, what you want to ask the question for? You stupid man. What are you asking me for? I'm a great Pandit, I'm a Mahapandit. Look at my pagri, I'm a Mahapandit. I don't have to answer such questions. That's a stupid person. Don't ever ask that person a question again. Pariprasnena, this verse says, 434. Pariprasnena, that's chapter 4, verse 34. Pariprasnena sevaya, you have to do service to the teacher, do service to your parents who know. These gurus, and it's another thing about gurus, don't go fall for any guru. You got to test the guru. You must test the guru like Ramakrishna and Swami Vivekananda. Swami Vivekananda was a student. He forever tested Ramakrishna to make sure he was the right guru for him. And all he had was a bachelor's degree. Ramakrishna had primary school education and he was the teacher. So this is a rare case. Test the guru. Ask questions. Pariprasnena sevaya. Sevaya means to do service. Upadekshanti te janam. They will give unto you knowledge. Why? Janinas tadvara darshana. They have seen the light. They have walked the walk. They know the stuff. They are the expert. You have expertise coming from them. And if you were to ignore this, you're at a loss. You've lost out. You missed the boat. Sri Prakash Goswami used to sing, Pratahi kalam nita barse aura bhagi soe. When this nice dew and nice feeling is falling, the unfortunate one is sleeping. So if you're asleep, right, good information, which will make you a better citizen, an individual that will be respected and will climb to extreme heights in society, you will miss out. Every little bit of information adds to your repertoire of knowledge. You have this reservoir that you have in your brain. Every little bit of information, and you must read every day. Read something every day. Listen to the television every day and pick up something that you want to utilize. not just be entertained. Even comedy has a lot of teachings in it too. So any program you watch, there's going to be something about life in it which you can pick up and use. Take an example for people like the comedians that I was thinking of. Chris Rock. This guy, Chris Rock, he reads 6 newspapers in his limousine going to the studio. To be a successful comedian, he had to read and read and read. Take George Carlin, another comedian. He reads and reads and reads. Bob Hope had 6 people writing jokes for him, and some of his jokes are really, why am I talking about comedians? There are philosophers like that too. Most of these presenters on television, people like Rudy here, he must have got people writing for him, and he must be reading a lot of books as well, because you have to keep abreast. You have to be on top, reading and listening, right? And watching television teaches you all the time. We are in an age of information technology. Use it to the fullest to benefit thereof.
Thank you very much, Pandit Ramrattanji. Ladies and gentlemen, we have just listened to eloquent Ramrattanji, who has been wearing many hats, as you can probably understand by now, on this interview. Panditji, we want to thank you very much for coming to our program Inside Guyana, and now you have the final opportunity here on this program, without any questions being asked to you. Please look at our viewers and tell them your message, whatever you want to tell them. You can appeal to them. I know you have this Social Services Center in Guyana, and as you mentioned, you might want to say whatever you want to say. Please go right ahead.
I thank you very much, Rudy. I thank you for this opportunity, dear viewers. We are doing charitable work in Guyana, and we're asking for resources. If you have computers, books, and if you want to sponsor a desk, a table, a stove, or whatever, because we have to feed 69 or 70 children every day for 2 weeks. We have to buy books, pencils, pens, resources for them. If you can contribute in any way, we will appreciate it. The building is already built. We're not collecting money for a building. This is not going to be children property. It's already children property. My mother gave us the land, and it's her children who owns the property. But it's already paid for from our resources. What we're asking the community to do is to try and sponsor some activity, sponsor a teacher to go there to impart his or her skills, sponsor a television, a projector, a computer, and any resources you can think of. But basically what we need now is books to start the library, and computers to add to the computer lab, so that kids can come after school and get on the internet and, of course, learn and lift themselves up. Remember, Guyana is there for you too. If you subscribe and make it a better place to live, then you will enjoy it when you go back there. All right, I know there's certain things that you don't like about Guyana, but how are we going to improve it if you don't start with the youths of the day? So let's enhance these youths with the tools and the education and the skills to make it a better place, to make them better citizens, so when we go there, they'll respect us for the resources that we provide them to lift themselves up to worthy individuals. We are again going out there on the 25th of July to the 15th of August.
What's the address again?
The address is number 11 Village, West Coast, Berbice. It's called the Ramrattan Social Services Center, and we're going via the banner of the USA Guyana Humanitarian Mission, Inc. And of course, we will be at number 11 Village, West Coast, Berbice, next to Bath Settlement, 6 miles from Russignol. It's a huge building there, and we have a tent at the back, a tent at the front, and we have a hall where they can be taught inside the classroom. We have facilities for all the teachers who go from there to sleep comfortably. We got nice accommodation for them, which is comparable to most motels that you have here in America. So it's in good nick, as they say in England. It's in good condition, and of course you're not going to be sleeping rough in a hammock or on a mud floor. So we have we have like maybe, shall I say, a 3-star, 4-star facility there for you. You have AC as well, so you're going to keep cool. If you're coming up in August, you're gonna be cool. So we want you to think about it and help us in the way you can. Resources are acceptable by myself, and you have my number, 917-365-7777. That is, I can be reached 365 days a year, 7 days a week. It's an easy number to remember. And then you have Mohan Singh and Anjali Maestri. These numbers will be put up on the screen. If you can utilize them and keep them handy and contact any one of us. If you don't like what we do, all right, we apologize for offending you, but we're trying to do good and without encroaching on your resources heavily. Whatever you can afford to give is acceptable. And we hope to show you the results of our efforts. We have some pictures from last year which are going to be flashed on the screen, if not already done. And we have pictures of some of the teachers who went there, and we did a marvelous job. We have the government involved. We have the local chairman, regional chairman. We have the Ministry of Health and Social Services involved. So we're working with the government too. But you know, they're short of resources too. You know, so we don't put any pressure on anybody. Whatever you can afford, you know, we're here to honor your efforts, and of course, make worthy citizens of the children of Guyana. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Ramrattanji, for that insightful session here at the ITV program Inside Guyana. Thank you for watching. On behalf of the management and staff of ITV, I want to thank you all for watching the program Inside Guyana. This is yours truly, Dr. Rudy Jadoopat. Thank you.